Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. XRP is up substantially today, 6.43% in fact, over the last 24 hours. So the entire asset class is up, and fair enough to state Bitcoin's pretty much stealing the show and leading the market, as is usual. I have no problem with that, by the way. I mean, historically, XRP is among the last cryptocurrencies to really take off. And I don't care. I'm aware of this, and I don't mind the order in which it happens. I hold about 30 different freaking cryptocurrencies. Not a problem. But Bitcoin's up almost 12% over the last 24 hours. So what caused this? Well, as it turns out, precisely nothing. So, I mean, look, the price action was big enough that when I earlier today was checking, I just opened the browser on my phone for a different purpose, but Live Coin Watch was there, and it said it was 24,000 and something, and I was like, oh, maybe this thing hasn't refreshed or something since I last checked Live Coin Watch on my phone in this particular browser tab, like a week ago or whenever Bitcoin was last in the 24,000s. So then I refreshed it, I was like, holy freaking hell, it actually is in the 24,000s. I didn't realize that. But anyway, so I was like, I wonder if there's something that actually was a catalyst for this. And I say wonder, not anticipating that there would, because the vast majority of the time when you see these impulses, it's because people are just being irrational and speculating. And so upon hopping on Twitter, crypto Twitter, and checking crypto media outlets, there's nothing. So it really is just people bouncing off one another, buying and selling, buying and selling. Isn't it glorious? And I tell you, it's so ridiculous. Like, in a world where people only behave like me, there would be zero volatility, because I am stubborn AF when it comes to my investment strategy. Stubborn AF. I do not get in and out of positions. Once I buy something, that's it. And unless I'm enticed to sell because it's up substantially at some point in the future. That's pretty much it. It's a very long-term thinker, me. And so if everybody behaved like me, it'd kind of be a problem. So I'm thankful that these people are behaving in completely ridiculous fashion, because without them, the volatility wouldn't be possible, and volatility is the purpose of investing. But before going further, I do want to share with you that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. But as I record this, XRP currently over 40 cents. Bitcoin at $24,744. Market cap for the asset class over 1.1 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at 41.99%. And here's the crypto fear and greed index at 62 out of 100. So the market, not surprisingly at all, is back in greed. And for those of you that care to take a peek at your screen, here's a 24-hour XRP price chart. And here's the 24-hour Bitcoin price chart. XRP, Bitcoin, XRP, Bitcoin, XRP, Bitcoin, looking very samey, which is just kind of an interesting thing. It's just kind of, crypto moving in tandem. But that is notable. Like, you can visually see it. It moved to the upside. And really, as far as XRP is concerned, just consider this, and I covered this at the time, but this is a tweet from on-chain analytics firm Santiment, and I really like their work. This tweet is from January 19th, and I don't feel it necessary to read the tweet. It's on your screen if you want to read it verbatim. But they were just noting here that by a particular metric that they track, XRP is undervalued. Now note that, again, January 19th is when they put that out. XRP was 38 cents. It's barely above that at this point. XRP is undervalued, my friends. That represents opportunity. Now take a look at this. This is a piece written by chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay for Cointelegraph. And I want to share with you a key portion at the top here. Bitcoin is leading the cryptocurrency markets on the path to recovery. Although the United States Consumer Price Index, or CPI for short print, for January was marginally higher than expectations, it did not dent the enthusiasm of bullish crypto traders. A positive response to seemingly negative data is a sign that the sentiment is bullish and traders are looking for buying opportunities. So I'll just pause and note, when I was talking about CPI in a video the other day, I noted, I was like, well, what else can you say about it? Just people, they saw the CPI numbers. It was actually negative, at least a little bit. People didn't give a damn. Now, if you had that news break, say pretty much any point in 2022, I think market participants would have responded a little bit differently. The sentiment's just different now. And a lot of people have already been completely washed out of crypto, people giving up, capitulating, selling. So a lot of the weaker hands are already gone anyway. But now we're in this trend back to the upside this year. So It's just interesting to see. I'm not pretending like I would have known that that was going to happen based on the bad news, but now that you can see it, it's just kind of an interesting observation. Anyway, piece continues. However, some analysts are cautious due to the strengthening of the US dollar index, or DXY for short. They believe that a sustained rally in the DXY could limit the upside in cryptocurrencies. Usually, long-term downtrends are followed by a base formation. During this phase, several analysts remain skeptical about a rally, but the price action continues to surprise them. And folks, haven't we seen that from a number of analysts this year? Insisting that things were going to go lower, only to have faces start to melt just a little tiny bit. Yeah, that's exactly what we've been seeing right now. Things don't go down forever, which is why when we had that capitulation event, like I said many times, in November, I was happy to purchase. And if the bears had been right and things continue to crumble further and Bitcoin went down to $10,000 as some were calling for, I mean, even if XRP got low enough, look, I haven't purchased XRP since I believe it was October of 2020 because it's already my largest holding. And I recognize if I didn't stop buying, like I have a serious problem. I have a very large holding subjectively. Some of you would think, yeah, that's gigantic. And others might say because you're already ridiculously wealthy and have a crazy ton of XP yourself, that my position isn't that big. So I subjectively state that, which I know doesn't tell you much. That's kind of by design. But to me, it's a lot is what I'm saying. And so I decided to stop purchasing. But I'm telling you, if the bears were right and you got XRP in the teens, and like if it was like 15, 16, 17 cents, even now I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm buying. But that's about what it would take for me to buy more XRP. If it goes down to those levels, yeah, I'm buying. But that would mean that we've got, in all likelihood, major turbulence in crypto, which we're not seeing right now. In all likelihood, outside of a wild card event, it's likely that we've already seen the bottom, right? And here was a tweet from just 6 hours ago from chart analyst Credible Crypto. He wrote, Bitcoin looking like it wants the highs at $25,000. And then in a separate tweet, he wrote, lots of questions about my thoughts on this pump we are seeing. Is this the start of our move to $30,000 plus? Is the dip over? Made a quick 4-minute video on Bitcoin to answer these questions and more. Yeah, so I don't feel like regurgitating everything they said in the 4-minute video, but I did watch it and it was interesting. I'll just note in terms of the question of, is this impulse that we're seeing right now the one that takes us to $30,000? He says it's possible, but he actually doesn't think that's what's most probable. He does seem to think that 25,000 plus is more likely, and to this point, with how it's been plowing to the upside, we're about there anyway. So we'll see if that even gets hit. But anywhere in this range seems more likely. And he also noted that's one of the reasons he's a little bit skeptical, is because volume, for a major impulse like this, and I think it's fair to say, this is a pretty big impulse in terms of positive price action we've seen today. It hasn't had to this point as much volume as previous pumps, and that's another thing that he pointed out. So he doesn't think that it's one that's going to lead us to $30,000, but he's anticipating a new all-time high for Bitcoin this year. He's the only analyst I follow that has made such a prediction. So we'll see if he's right, and I hope he is. That would be absolutely fantastic here. Then there was also this from chart analyst Income Sharks. He tweeted out on the following on February 10th, because if you've been paying attention, over the last several days or so in particular, price action has not been so positive, right? And, after a really positive, start to 2023, just the last several days in particular, not so positive. And it lines up perfectly with all of the terrible, scary news having to do with the SEC and other federal regulators going after crypto in the United States. So that does seem to be the catalyst for people to, it caused people to panic. And perhaps it was time for a correction anyway. So having those two things coincide, okay. But on February 10th, chart analyst Income Sharks wrote, crypto markets were pumping like crazy last week. Where do you think those profits went? You think those people sold and cashed out and are leaving? That money is coming right back when the SEC FUD and dip is done. And so now here we are. It's it's the 15th, isn't it? Hold on, yeah, it's the 15th, Wednesday the 15th. So here you are 5 days later, and we're already back on a tear. Despite bad CPI numbers. Like, I'm telling you, the sentiment is different. Folks, I think the bottom's in. I think that's what's most probable. And so then today, just a couple hours or so ago, Income Sharks wrote, crypto profit takers returned less than 4 days later. People don't just make money and then leave the space. They come right back the second things look good again. Yeah, that's exactly correct. So, I mean, there are people that leave once they get burnt because they don't know what the hell they're doing. How many people left after, Bitcoin hit its high in 2017 at $20,000 and then, proceeded to crater throughout 2018, how many people left and just like gave up? A lot of people gave up. And I'm sure once, euphoria came back several years later, I'm sure some of them came back exactly the wrong way to approach this in terms of timing, but anyway, it is what it is. But so yeah, the people that get the markets, they take profit and then they just wait. Now, that's not my strategy, but good on them if they get it. They got something that works for them. They feel like getting in and out of positions, and they can actually make themselves behave in a way that the emotions that the typical retail speculators can have and respond to, if they don't engage in that, okay, super duper. I still think my approach is certainly the best for me, at least, which is, again, just I buy stuff and then I literally do absolutely nothing. It's lazy, it's unsophisticated, and it is the best strategy. I firmly believe that for stocks and crypto. And you don't have to worry. It's so stress-free too. Like you buy it, okay, done. That's it. Until one day when it's worth way more, if you're enticed to sell, that's it. The job's done. That's it. So all the stress of trying to think, okay, should I get it now? Should I get it? No. For me anyway. And so I just, when I buy something, if I want a different cryptocurrency, then I don't sell something to go buy that. I just go buy the other cryptocurrency. So it's like to diversify. That's pretty much it. So anyway, exciting times ahead. I really love seeing this positive price action. But folks, bear market is over in all probability. I'm not going to go with certainty because I rarely say with certainty pretty much anything in life. But I strongly suspect that it's, especially after all this, like these are not the human behaviors that you would anticipate as in a bear market. I just think people are clearly behaving differently than they did in 2022. And I love to see it. So we've got this, and we get to see what happens in the SECV Ripple case. And I've got more on that. I'm going to have another, I got another couple topics I want to cover in separate videos having to do with some of that stuff, but additional reason to be very optimistic. But before, I'll just go ahead and wrap up here. But thank you so much for all the support. I hope that you all are enjoying being in crypto as much as I am, because it's just a blast and it's the opportunity of a lifetime. It really, truly is. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.